One final chapter left. I have the neck tingle, the Vecna tingle, if you will, after watching this season 5 teaser trailer, and wow, it doesn't feel like a teaser because it is just so intense and there's so much to unpack and dive into that I can't even handle it. I had a reaction to it. You can go and watch that. Full on sobbed, woke up early to watch it, and woo! But before we dive into this, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell if you are enjoying this content. I would so appreciate it, and make sure you just share it with your friends who love Stranger Things, because I am your Stranger Things yapper, and we are diving into this, uncovering, unfolding the upside down. Let's go. We are taking this trailer frame by frame, my friends. It's a lot, and I'm here for it. Immediately, we are starting off this trailer with Steve, our boy. Amen. That is how you start a trailer off. He is clearly in the 𝗙SQK radio van, and he's tuning up something. You can see a quick shot of the antenna on the van kind of, you know, adjusting, if you will. And so what could he be doing? This shot of the numbers of the decibels going up is throughout this entire trailer, and to me it's just like, ooh, are we cranking up some type of sound to harm Vecna, to harm Demogorgons, Demodogs, creatures, something? They are doing this for a reason. Then we immediately pan to the Netflix logo, and if you can quickly see, there's vines everywhere, there's bikes in it. That was a really cool shot. Then we see Steve driving off in the van, and we have Lucas and Mike riding on their bikes, and if you can see in the background, we see Elle watching them leave. I also think we photo of Mike and Lucas riding off, and so I think these shots are kind of together. And we immediately go see Will and Nancy and Robin and Elle, and Joyce is sitting at the table with the communication. I think she is talking and hearing Mike talk over the radio. And we hear Mike say, "Burn commencing," and we start a countdown of 5, 4, okay?
Commencing in 5.
And we do see pan over to Lucas with binoculars in that military type outfit. Who knows where they're at, but he's looking at something, and he's also counting down as well. And I'm very curious where we are, what we are initially doing with this countdown and this burn commencing. We also see quick shots of Robin and Nancy and Will and Elle looking just a little worried in this moment. And I'm like, ooh, what could we be doing? You know, maybe they're trying to, you know, when we burned, you know, the vines that really affected Will and everything. Is that what we're trying to do? Are we burning something like that to make it go away? And we see a shot of bunch of kids. This to me is looking like a military type bunker. Not to say that these are new characters, it's just a sense of the Hawkins town is under, you know, cover. We are taking cover from Vecna, from what is about to go on in Hawkins, and lights are flashing. When lights flash, it's not good. Then a quick shot of Hopper saying, "Come on, come on," as if whatever they're about to do is about to go down. And we're seeing those lights quickly flash. We're seeing a worried Nancy and Elle and Robin. And if you zoom in, Will is completely just standing there. It's as if he's in a trance. Could this be, I've mentioned it so many times this past year about Will having powers. Is he having that kind of moment? Is he having flashes of himself back in the Upside Down? Well, more on that later. Is Vecna trying to get in his mind, trying to find him, okay? He's not looking like himself. And obviously, like I said, when lights are flashing, it doesn't look like it's because of Elle. It has to be because of possibly Vecna or something that is coming. We quickly pan over to my favorite, the Vecna tingle. Will is sensing his presence. It looks kind of like a school in the background, maybe, not super sure, but obviously we're seeing some two kids kind of walk in front of him. So initially he's feeling his presence stronger. Then we're quickly seeing those numbers jump even further up. They're cranking that volume or whatever it is. They're cranking it up. We see this November. I am fully believe that this was kind of going to happen, that we're not going to see a lot of volume 2 in like the final episode. Ross did come on and say that you know, no spoilers in this. A lot of this was taken from all the episodes minus episode 7, but a lot of this was heavy volume 1, and it's not even like, we haven't even scratched the surface. And so that just gets me so giddy, excited. Like honestly, they could just leave this as the only trailer we get and I'd be satisfied because it had so much good in it. But this November, guys. Then we quickly see a military truck pass, helicopters in the air. Mike, Will, and Holly are on their bikes. There were some teases last year of these guys on their bikes at the military, and this kind of has me thinking it's early on in the season, like episode 1. Obviously there is that episode, The Vanishing of Blank, and it kind of was leaked that it's probably Holly Wheeler. So I'm thinking that this could probably be before the vanishing happens. Then a quick shot over to where Hawkins, the rifts broke through. We see an overhead type of shot. There's a barricade going into Hawkins. I think the 3 of them are trying to bike over here, and they're probably trying to see in or something like that. But obviously that's the library, iconic part, because that's where Joyce and Hopper found Will in the Upside Down. And so I think it's going to be a very vital thing. Right here is the part where you're getting military walking and that huge, beautiful gate looking right at us. Kind of looks like there's a seal over it, like they're wanting to just seal it off. Then this moment just absolutely broke me, and I bet it did you too. But it's Eddie's grave, and we are seeing Dustin at his grave. This shot we got over a year ago. It was the very first thing that we saw, and it's this moment at the grave, and on it says "burn in hell." Absolutely awful. Absolutely not. No. Definitely think this is going to be a very tender moment. And we've also seen him bike to this place as well. And there was a shot of him with some jocks. So are jocks coming to the cemetery because they are the ones who put burn in hell on Eddie? Absolutely not. We start to hear a Jonathan voiceover, which shocked me. He's saying, after all we've been through. And then we're seeing our Lumax. This is gonna be a very tender moment for many of us, especially fans of Lumax. And she's at the hospital, and I can just see him hoping for her back, like, please wake up, Max. I'm gonna get teary-eyed just talking about it. She needs to wake up. She's gotta wake up. We're then looking at these 2 people in suits with flamethrowers with that gate. Could this be connected to what Mike was talking about? Burn commencing. I don't know if that's super linked to it. And Jopper Nation, stand and rise for our anthem. This looks to me like they could be at his cabin. Obviously they were doing some renovating at that cabin, and so I think that's where they could be. Obviously the buyers are homeless and I don't think they want to have a new location, especially with Elle, so I think they're hiding her out. Could they be hiding her at Hopper's house? Could they be at that bunker area at the radio station underneath? Could that be where they're at? Not sure, but keep them safe. And then the 4 Dustin, Steve, Jonathan, Nancy in the Upside Down, looking up at the lab in the Upside Down. Very excited for this. Obviously, these four are splitting off into pairs. Jonathan and Nancy and Steve and Dustin, because we saw that clip at the 𝗙cie event where those two are looking up. So that definitely confirms this part. Oh, what a moment for our core four. Just absolutely a lot to take in. It's looking like Dustin is just kind of like hesitating to me. The three of them have their hands in and Dusty is just, I don't know. I hope it's not a growing apart situation. Obviously he was seen in his Hellfire shirt. Could he be the only one in Hellfire in this moment? Or is he still holding on to that grief of Eddie and he's just hesitating like, I can't lose anyone else type of hesitation. Still continue to hear Jonathan voiceover as well. Like, it ties us together. And I love that it's in that moment, it's showing Maleven, this duo that has been in the beginning. I'm just very excited to see their relationship grow within this moment. And she's looking like she's in a wetsuit, very season one, you know, very tied into her in the bathtub. And it kind of looks like they're sitting on maybe a bathtub that is built at Hopper's house. That would make a lot of sense. And then we get our Jancy. Oh, I've been waiting for this. Gosh, this moment looks very tender. Looks like it's gonna be emotional. I hope their relationship is not breaking, but I think it looks like Nancy's kind of really going through it. She looks very emotional. I mean, obviously, especially, we'll talk about it in a little bit as far as her parents could be in danger, especially Holly as well. So I think she's feeling a lot is heavy on her right now. And then we see Elle just looking like a baddie, puts the scarf, a handkerchief over her mouth, looking like she's in the Upside Down. Not exactly sure where she could be at. We saw behind the scenes right here of, you know, Upside Down just doing her thing, but I don't know where she could be at. I would love it if she ends up at the Creel house. That would be insane. Oh, this part has me hooked. All right, we see a Demogorgon in a tree. We see someone jumping, looking like to the other tree. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I am very confident that this is a young Will Byers. Why? Because we got this behind the scenes where a young person is dropping from that tree in a backpack, puffy jacket. And who does that remind you of? When Will disappeared in season 1. I hope that we are getting that flashback. Obviously, we had that very little crumb Ross posted of, you know, opening scene. You know, we hear a familiar like song, a child's voice. Like, I want us to fully see what happened to Will while he was in the Upside Down. And I hope that's kind of what we're seeing as far as Will's kind of in that trance. Is he remembering these moments in the Upside Down? Is he remembering these things that happened to him? And like I said, I think he's remembering those powers and it's slowly connecting and he's just having a moment. Doors open, we see 2 military guys. The first one is our guy, Alex. If you have seen the first Shadow, you know who he is, but I'm so excited to see him in this role. And then who's behind him? Linda Hamilton's character. Finally, we see our first look at her. Absolutely incredible to see what this could be, this building we're in. I think we're also in a new type of lab location, so maybe she's coming in here and maybe she's trying to find Elle. And then confirmed, I knew it was them. Elle and Hopper in the Upside Down looking at the meat wall. I've kind of touched on this. I believe that it's either the edge of the Upside Down or a little doorway to Dimension X, but whatever it is, it's disgusting, it's gross, and just don't touch it. Just don't touch it. And then we see just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's red, it's looks awful. It's in the upside down. Could this be like, I don't know, another like portal dimension opening? I've talked about Escape from Camazotz, but maybe it's a portal to go there. I don't know, but it's looking like it's Nancy and Jonathan looking up at this like, I don't know how to describe it, people. But it's not a friend. And then Steve and Dusty in the car, binoculars, looking fearful. What are we looking at? I don't know. Maybe Nancy and Jonathan. I don't know. What are we looking at? This vibe of the demo dogs lurking and creeping. I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, and oh, it's giving that vibe of hiding in the kitchen with the kids in the first one and like, oh, what's happening? And who do we pan over to see? Our Lumax. Oh, I knew it. Demogorgons, demo dogs are creeping through Hawkins, and they're at the hospital, and our Lucas is cradling our Max. She still looks unconscious, in her coma, absolutely. And there's someone to the side of them. I kind of feel like maybe it's Vicky. Maybe she's working at the hospital as well. And I hope that Robin is next to her and they are embracing each other too, because I need it. We saw this very quick clip at 𝗙់𝗹𝗹𝘀. It's Hopper and Elle screaming. The lights are flashing red. Could this, like I said, be where Linda Hamilton's character in the military are coming in? It's kind of giving those vibes with the red lights, but she's in absolute agony and pain. And could that be Vecna trying to get in her mind, find her? Or is it something else? And military, pew, 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 pew. You see military on the ground. What are they shooting at? Probably Demogorgons. Maybe Vecna's already there. I don't know. But it's not good. Hopper is on the ground with Elle protecting her, looking like bullets are coming through. I kind of think this could be a sign, like a billboard sign, a little bit on that in a second when we get to it, but he's obviously protecting her on the ground. And ooh, this is so fine from season 3, like just this little parallel of Steve driving his car. Ooh, it's hot. And it looks like he is driving into a portal. I mean, that's how it's done. Or maybe into a rift, something, or I don't know, tunnels maybe, but it's definitely screaming like a portal because of just the lighting. And his poor mirror got smashed off, so RIP to the mirror. Ooh, and finally this shot that we also saw at 𝗙̀𝗹𝗋 in the barn. What is behind those doors? We finally see it, and it is a lovely, cute Demogorgon. Oh my gosh, her with that axe, the parallel of season 1, I am here for it. Take down that Demogorgon, Mama Joyce, I believe in you. And then, ooh, Will fainting. This is definitely kind of in the beginning when they were flashing lights and they all looked panicked at the radio station at the little maybe basement bunker of this place. But he's fallen. Someone help this poor boy. But I'm definitely thinking it could be part of him remembering things, part of his powers that he doesn't know he quite has yet. But it's a lot on him and it's taking him out. And our girl with the shotgun, definitely looking like we're in the lab at this part too, where they kind of split off. What is she shooting at? Who knows? Could be so many things. A new creature, a Demogorgon, a Demodog. I don't think it would be Vecna, but only time will tell. Then this Demogorgon jumping up on the Bradley's truck. We've obviously seen that it's Robin and Murray in this truck. What could be in this truck that this Demogorgon is trying to smash? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to capture this Demogorgon. Maybe there's a Demogorgon in the truck and he's trying to break his friend out. I don't know. But if you very quickly look at the truck, there's marks on the side. So is it from this Demogorgon, or is there something, like I mentioned, in the truck trying to get out? And oh my gosh, I called this a few days ago, what I wanted in this trailer. We have briefly seen 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗀 and Karen in their bathroom. I had figured that out, that's where they were at. And I had said, I hope we see them in a bathtub, because it had looked like Holly's hair was wet. And sure enough, oh, Mama holding Holly in a bathtub, holding their breath. I think a Demogorgon, Demodog, is running through their house, and they are fearful and they are hiding from that. This, scary. And we see Robin outside of the radio station looking up at the big tower. And if you've seen the show Lost, you're kind of familiar with like the smoke monster. Well, there's definitely like that smoke monster type feel. It's kind of like the Mind Flayer before, you know, he got his form from Vecna, from 1, how it formed. What if that's kind of what we're looking at here? Oof, this part absolutely shook me to my core. Blood on Nancy's hands, definitely in the hospital, just given the soap dispenser there. I will talk on this a little bit, because there's a shot that is, I think, before this, that's leading to this moment. But I think it has to do with either her mom or her dad. I don't think it's Holly, because I think Holly, after the bathtub incident, I think that's when she could vanish. But I think this is the blood of one of her parents. And Will looking sweaty as ever, as if his powers are just, like I've mentioned, taking a toll on him. He looks just tired, defeated. And then, oh, I can't even think about this scene, but it is the Steve and Dustin hug. I think they're gonna have a moment together at the lab in the Upside Down, just fully. Maybe he's trying to push his grief aside, and we're having a very heart-to-heart moment with Steve, and Steve just takes him in. That's possibly one theory. I hope it's not kind of a, I'm gonna go do something absolutely crazy and you're gonna stay here and I'm gonna go do something. So you stay here. And it's like the sacrifice goodbye speech. I don't want it. No, do not. But I think they're safe, but I think that's kind of could be a possibility. And we've seen this moment before, but it is Elle and Hopper. It's just giving that season 2 vibes when they're about to like go close the gate. And I am so happy these two are having some good time together. But the background kind of gives new location. We've seen like weird things of like a lab where they're like growing weird upside down type vibe creatures or something. I don't know, but that is screaming where they're at. And this could definitely be, like I mentioned, with the Linda Hamilton and the military coming into wherever this is, the red lights, and it could be before she has her painful moment.
Let's end this, kid.
This part chills down my spine. This part just absolutely was chilling. Obviously very emotional part. But Hopper telling Elle, like, let's end this, kid. Like, let's do it. This is the final moment. This is our chance. Kind of looks like she's in one of those type of helmets, like maybe they kind of had to make their own, but when she was in the tank, that's kind of what it looks like he's talking to with her in this like helmet. And then we get a quick shot of Elle in that wetsuit, kind of in the tub. I think this is going back to when her and Mike were talking, so maybe she's trying to help Max in this moment. And then Baddie Hopper with his grenades. We're about to blow something up. Like I said, I think this is, they're behind a sign. And we very quickly see two, I'm guessing, military people getting just like blown. And it is a Turnbow realty sign. And if you very quickly go, Ross also posted this sign with vines on it. So did these military people follow them into the Upside Down? I don't know. Very quickly we see Will just screaming. Obviously this look is giving when he had his hands on Max and Elle, but the vibe of Vecna here with like the nails and like looking like horns, like he's got an upgrade obviously, but it's looking a little scary. I quickly see a shot of Holly. I definitely think this is early on. She's looking like she's playing D&D. She's got a cape on. I've also talked about that she has a D&D piece on her, and I've mentioned that Mike probably gives her this piece to hopefully protect her. So I think that's what this is, and I think we're gonna see moments of flashing lights, kind of like that Holly Jolly episode that we got in season 1 where all the lights are flashing by her. She sees the Demogorgon kind of pushing through the wall. So I think we're gonna have moments of lights flickering and she's gonna, what? Quick moment of Lucas. There's blood on his shirt. Whose is that? Are we in a tunnel? It kind of gives me that vibe that we could be, but not exactly sure. Then we see Murray and Robin excited to have this duo. We see his alias name of Austin. He's gonna be a hoot, I know it. Looking like the Bradley truck is in the back, as well as they're at the radio station as well. The truck here looks absolutely fine, so definitely that truck is getting beaten up later. Definitely have in her hand, she's got a walkie-talkie, and so definitely communication going on. Eve's car smashing through people's fences. Goodness gracious, this boy. And we've got the antenna on as well, so he's definitely going to be going back and forth between the van with the antenna on and his car. So obviously this is very important as well, with some type of communication. They're distributing some type of sound out into the community. Could be to help the citizens of Hawkins playing a song, or it has to do with trying to harm Demogorgons, Vecna, and Demodogs with this sound. Military jumping through the forest, running towards who knows what. And then this scene is what I want to talk about. It's Nancy and Elle. One, love this duo. Very excited to have this moment. I would love a moment of her maybe talking about Mike and her feelings of them together. That would be very, very sweet. But I think they are at the Wheeler house. This is coming before the hands that she's washing off blood from. I think she's going to her house, and she's going to see the destruction of probably what is happening there with Demodogs or Demogorgons running through her house. I think maybe this is when Holly is probably vanished and she can't find her, and I think she's going to see either both of her parents in absolute injuries, and I think one of her parents could die. And I think one of her parents could see the end in this moment as well. But I think especially her mom, I think, is going to be in critical danger and extremely injured as well. Hand kind of on some radio equipment. I definitely think this is Robin doing something. Could this be the Shock Jock episode? Not sure, but that would be very fun as well. But I definitely think this is Robin's hand. And we see the numbers continue to go up, and then we see an eye. A lot of people were saying that it could be Will's, but weirdly enough, Nell Fisher, who plays Holly, said she thinks this could be her eyes, so that could be crazy. And then we straight go to the tunnels. Oh, so excited that the tunnels are back. It's just screaming nostalgic era of season 2. Yes. And it looks like 3 people are in there. It's giving Lucas, possibly Erica, and a character I'm not exactly sure on, but it's gonna be exciting. Numbers continue to skyrocket. Then we see Erica baddie pulling out a syringe. Could this be for Will? You know, he's had this before where we gotta knock him out a little bit. Could this be at the Turnbow house? I've definitely seen little behind the scenes where she's at this house with Derek as well, who's a Turnbow. And could that be it? Could this be a part of the Turnbow trap? Woo! Elle, defying gravity. Mike is also saying, like, you can fly. Like, come on, girl. She's flying. I love it. Onto the junkyard. So many beautiful nostalgic things in this trailer. The Duffer brothers know exactly what they're doing to just make us fans who have been lifelong OGs just really like, it's beautiful. She's at the junkyard. Is she practicing? I think she could be. Just practicing those powers continue to go up. And then we've seen a little bit of this moment at 𝗙𝗹 where the ground is shaking, red is coming from the ground. And here we go. Out pops a Demogorgon. I've definitely suspected that. I didn't think it would be Vecna. Definitely thought it's gonna be a Demogorgon popping out into downtown Hawkins. Military is about to get a real nice wake-up call. And then we see Joyce, what looks like she's over a Will, who's succumbed to fainting spells again and just weak, and she's looking off somewhere. Could this be Mike also looking off? We definitely see in the background familiar stores. This is very close, right by the library. And he's also looking off. We see one of the new characters as well right behind him. What is he looking at? Well, Vecna himself is back. And he's coming through a portal to Hawkins for the very first time, to the right side up. It's ripping apart. That portal that we saw that looked like had a barrier is fully getting ripped up. Numbers have hit 100 and we get a moment of silence, and then
found you.
Are you joking? Are you joking? I mentioned this in one of my videos that I would love to see Vecna at the end of this trailer. It ended with the 𝗙𝗹 one with Ron and Will. I felt it was absolutely necessary to have this trailer end with Vecna, and it sure enough did. And then we get a moment, a glimpse of Vecna with fire. Could this be because of those two guys with the flames? It's giving D&D fireball him. Is Will fireballing him? Is he have powers with fire now? And he's got a little glow up going on. Those like looking like horn spikes coming from him? Absolutely not. But the whole found you moment just felt like he's been looking for Will this whole entire time, and he's like, I found you. And we get the iconic Stranger Things 5 logo and the dates again. Guys, this trailer just, it was everything I've sobbed countless times. Being a fan of this show is so special. So much to me, as it means so much to you guys too. And it means so much to me that I can not just share it with myself, I get to share it with you guys as well, the fans. And so I'm so much more to talk about. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I have so many other fun videos as well there, just like super deep dives, fun theories. Obviously, continued to just do more fun theories with this to come in the weeks and months. It's gonna be one of the best last bike rides to Hawkins, and I cannot wait. So I will see you next time. Thank you so much for being here, and yeah.